Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We begin tonight with breaking news. The State Department says it will not release 22 emails from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton because they contain what it calls top secret information. Those emails were not marked classified at the time they were sent. But State Department spokesman John Kirby says the emails are being upgraded to top secret because they contain sensitive information. In addition, the State Department announced that 18 emails between Clinton and President Obama will be withheld from the public.
Secretary Clinton and the president did, on occasion, exchange emails. As they have also said previously, such presidential records shall remain confidential to protect the president's ability to receive unvarnished advice and counsel. To be clear, the emails between then Secretary Clinton and President Obama have not been determined to be classified.
Clinton has been under fire for using a private email server while Secretary of State. The State Department has released thousands of pages of Clinton's emails to the public over the last 8 months. But the decision to withhold some emails could provide fodder for Clinton's opponents in the presidential race. Thousands of adolescents in North Dakota are behind on their vaccines. That's according to the North Dakota Department of Health. More than 27,000 teenagers are 30 days or more behind on the recommended immunizations. The Department of Health sends letters home to parents quarterly. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop talked with one mother about why it's so important to stay caught up.
My older son was hospitalized for meningitis, so I can understand how serious it is to vaccinate. It really is.
Lisa Gedrose is a mother to 4. She was shocked to hear that 27,542 letters were sent to North Dakota parents about their teenagers between the ages of 12 and 17 being behind on their vaccinations.
It's a really high number for children of North Dakota.
The most common vaccines teens are behind on are the meningitis and chickenpox vaccine. Dr. Stephanie Hansen says she is not surprised, but saddened to see so many children behind.
I think everybody remembers to do their vaccines for their babies because they come for regular checkups. You want to see how they're growing and developing. For older kids who might not be coming for their checkups every year, it's harder to remember, and I think a lot of those vaccines then get missed.
Multiple children, you do kind of forget from time to time.
Gedrose says she counts on her pediatrician and even her school to remind her about the vaccines that her children need. Dr. Hansen says a yearly checkup is important to make sure your child's overall health is well.
The times that they're recommended to be given are the times when your child is most prone to those infections, so it really is important to get it at the recommended intervals.
As for Gedrose, she says she takes keeping up to date on vaccines more seriously now.
Because you don't think your child will get it until they actually get it, and you're sitting next to them in the hospital.
In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
To see the list of school vaccination requirements for children broken down by grades, click on this story on valleynewslive.com. Fargo Public Schools are taking a proactive approach to a topic that might make some parents, well, cringe. That's head lice. This letter was sent to families whose children attend Centennial Elementary. In the letter, the principal says the school is taking steps to prevent head lice by putting all lost and found hats into bags. And no winter hats will be exchanged or handed out to students who lost or forgot them. The principal encourages families to talk to their children about sharing clothes that could lead to head lice. Warmer than average temperatures today are leaving things a bit soggy, and the rain is washing away some of the snow in Fargo. Will the warm temps stick around? Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Justin Fanfarilli. Justin, what's going on outside?
And thank you, Christine. Good evening, everybody. Well, we had some sunshine this morning and windy conditions. Temperatures were near 30 until this band of rain moved in. That got temperatures up there. We stayed into the upper 30s, and that's where we are right now. 38 degrees at Fargo, 37 Valley City, Oaks, Grand Forks, and cooler as you make your way out toward Bemidji and Wadena. They're near 30 right now. We had a band of rain move through around the 2 p.m. hour, and this is the second band of rain. It looks like it's going to be the last one that is going to move through, as you can see. some of the heaviest and steadiest just to the south and to the west of the Fargo area, but this should be the end of it, just getting out of the Lisbon area right now. So as we go through tonight, we'll just see mainly cloudy skies out there. Temperatures well above normal. We are into the mid-30s and then falling into the lower 30s as we go through later on tonight. Now, the warm air will stick around through the weekend, then we're looking at a big change in terms of temperatures, but we will stay dry. We'll get into everything in weather later in the newscast.
Thanks, Justin. Authorities around the area are still looking for a wanted man who fled from police during an attempted traffic stop. Police say Josh Eschino ran yesterday after they spotted him in a stolen vehicle around the West Acres area. He has several warrants out for his arrest for giving false information and drug-related offenses. If you have any information regarding his whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Red River Regional Dispatch Center. This happened around the same time someone tried to steal a truck from the Treasure Island parking lot. Police aren't saying whether the two incidents are connected. The Grand Forks Police Department is warning the public about a burglary spree. Since the beginning of the new year, police have received 25 complaints of burglaries and 7 complaints of criminal trespass. Police encourage the community to report all suspicious behavior, including people walking through neighborhoods at night, cars driving slowly through neighborhoods, and any unusual sounds. Police also encourage you to keep your doors locked when you are away and at night when you're sleeping, and to use exterior lights that illuminate doorways when it's dark outside. Today is the 7th anniversary of President Obama's first bill signed into law, the Lilly Ledbetter Act. The law granted an extended statute of limitations when it comes to a female employee suing an employer for discriminatory pay. While the bill granted the right to legally challenge an employer, women across the country are still fighting for federal equal pay legislation. Valley News Team's Peter Zampa spoke with Miss Ledbetter about the ongoing fight for equality.
The Lilly Ledbetter Act sparked a conversation about equal pay for men and women. Fast forward 7 years, and Miss Ledbetter says there's still a lot of work to be done. The president's first law holds her name, but she says it's not enough.
There are a lot of things happening, but we need more laws and we need more bills.
The bill was inspired by Ledbetter's lawsuit against Goodyear Tires when she thought her pay was lower because she was a woman. The Supreme Court thought she waited too long to file a charge, so she received nothing. The legislation changed that 7 years ago, giving women more opportunity to file lawsuits against employers. Lisa Matz says they shouldn't have to file in the first place.
Everybody agrees there's a pay gap and we need to do something about it. It's not myth, it's math.
Matz is the vice president of governmental affairs at the American Association of University Women. She says the anniversary of Ledbetter's bill provides the perfect reason to reignite the fight for federal legislation. Like the Paycheck Fairness Act, currently stalled in Congress. Under federal law, gender-based pay discrimination is already illegal, but activists say the Paycheck Fairness Act would give the law more protections.
Federal legislators may be deaf, but the states are listening to their people.
Matt says today on the bill's anniversary, upwards of 30 states will introduce paycheck equality legislation.
We shouldn't be like this in the United States. We're smarter, we have resources, and we all need to pull together, and Congress needs to start working together.
In Washington, Peter Zampa, Valley News Live.
Matt says she thinks Congress will wait until after the presidential election to come up with equal pay legislation. But she says she fully expects that bill to be bipartisan.
Thank you, Merry Christmas.
The Salvation Army didn't reach the Red Kettle campaign's goal in the Fargo-Moorhead area this year, but they came awfully close. The goal was $896,000. They missed it by about $21,000. Despite that, Major Byron Medlock with the Salvation Army says he is grateful for the community support and the work of the volunteers. He says the efforts and backing here are second to none.
What I see is that we have a community that is willing to give and feel the excitement of giving and helping and being a part of something much bigger than they are. You know, to look at maybe their $10 making $100 or that $10 making someone happy.
Salvation Army officials say even though they didn't make their goal, it was still a very good year. They say the campaign here raised more money than any other city in North Dakota and Minnesota, except for Minneapolis-St. Paul. Valley News Live took part in some Frostival fun. Valley News teams Lisa Badeau and Kyle Bosch previewed one of the events that will be held this weekend, the cardboard sled race, as you can see here. There were 2 races they participated in. One was a race to the finish, the other to see who could get the farthest. Some Frostival fun events that you can look forward to tonight include free carriage rides, a cocoa cook-off, live music, and more. It's all happening from 6 to 9 p.m. at the U.S. Bank Plaza. To see the full list of events, head to valleynewslive.com and click on the Hot button. A sea of boat and marine products are filling the Fargo Dome this weekend for the annual Red River Valley Boat Show. Dozens of boats are on the Fargo Dome floor, along with days full of seminars and exhibitors. The show is open until 9 tonight, then Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 10 to 5. New this year is a paddleboard company, which has become a growing trend.
We've been hearing a lot of people buying them kind of as an activity that everyone can do when they come and visit them at the lake home or at the cabin. From age 5 with your parent to age 85, 95, you're going to be able to do this if you have an attitude and want to get on the water.
Tickets are $7.50 for adults and $2.50 for kids. Customers are